The Heinemann podcast is a production of Heinemann Publishing. Heinemann is a provider of resources written by real teachers for real classrooms. Heinemann values teachers as decision makers and students as curious learners. Discover the path to lifelong professional learning at Heinemann.com. Heinemann, dedicated to teachers. How do we get students to ache with caring about their writing instead of mechanically stringing words together? That's the question author Georgia Hurd asks in her new book, Heart Maps, Helping Students Create and Craft Authentic Writing. She says we spend a lot of time teaching the craft of writing, but that we also need to devote time to helping students write with purpose and meaning. Growing up, Georgia's older sister and two cousins became map makers and worked at the National Geographic Society. Georgia's grandmother offered to pay her way through college if she got her degree in cartography. While Georgia says it was tempting, she instead focused on becoming a writer, a poet, and a teacher of writing. She writes in Heart Maps, she thinks of herself as a cartographer of the heart, mapping out inner territories with words and helping others do the same. I started our conversation by asking Georgia what heart mapping is and why it's so helpful for children as writers.
Heart maps are a concrete visual tool to help writers, no matter what age, discover and ultimately write about what they've stored in their hearts. People they love, memories, meaningful experiences. But it's not just a topic list where students make a list of topics that they then check off as they write. It's the experience and process of heart mapping that's really kind of magical and a little mysterious. When I first thought of heart maps years ago, I was amazed at what my students wrote, how open they were, how honest with their feelings, and even the authentic conversations that happened around the heart maps. It's surprising that writing and drawing inside the visual shape of a heart is such a powerful invitation for people to feel, to tell the truth, to write what they love. After my book, Awakening the Heart, was published, where I first wrote about heart mapping, the idea went viral. There were over 8 million Google entries. They started appearing everywhere. Many classrooms around the country started their year with asking kids to heart map. And that's because the process is so incredibly powerful. So in this new book, I introduced 20 different types of heart maps, all with a different focus. And I've also included writing ideas for digging deeper and mentor text ideas in multiple genres. I'm also so grateful that 3 of my wisest colleagues, Pam Allen, Nancy Atwell, and Penny Kittle, wrote essays in the book describing their incredible work with heart mapping. But the main thing is that the book is filled with examples of the most breathtakingly beautiful heart maps created by kids all over the world.
What do you feel are some of the barriers for children as writers or poets?
Well, I think the way writing is sometimes taught is in a series of sequential steps. It's a formula, like the 5-paragraph essay. First you do this, then this, finally this, and poof, you have a finished piece of writing. Mechanically stringing words, sentences, and paragraphs together doesn't necessarily make effective, powerful writing. My biggest question as a writing teacher is how to help kids ache with caring about their writing, as Mem Fox says. And I think heart mapping can help with this. So one of the barriers for children's writing is engagement, how to help students care deeply about their words. If they don't care what they're writing about, why would they want to spend hours crafting, revising, and editing, which is really hard work? It's rewarding work if you truly care and know that your words matter.
Who is heart mapping for, and how is it most effectively used?
Heart mapping is for everyone, from very young writers, even in pre-K, through high school to adults. In fact, one of my colleagues, the wonderful Paul Hankins, said that he uses heart maps all the time with his 11th graders. There are many ways we can use heart maps. Teachers can invite students to heart map at the beginning of the year to get to know their students and for students to get to know each other, to build community. Heart maps can be used as practical touchstones for writing. Students can store them in their writer's notebooks and refer to them when they're starting a piece of writing or they have writer's block. There's even a revision heart map in the book to help writers find the heart of their story before they begin writing and during the process. No matter how you use heart maps, be sure to leave plenty of time for reflection, discussion, writing, time for students to go deeper into their heart maps.
One of my favorite heart map templates from your new book is called Be the Change You Wish to See in the World. Can you talk about how you've experienced writing and poetry as change agents?
I want students to know that words have the power to make something happen, whether it's personal change or change in the world. A great example that we all know is Malala, who started writing a blog focusing on girls' right to education. And as we know, her words eventually changed the world. So Be the Change You Wish to See in the World Heart Map invites students to map out the injustices, inequalities, and concerns they might observe in their everyday lives, but also in the larger world. So heart maps are not just for learning about your interior life, but also can be strong change agents in the world.
How would you coach a teacher who's helping a student move from a heart map into a piece of writing or poetry?
Each of the heart maps has practical suggestions and guidance on how to help students move into writing. For example, one of the heart maps is the first times heart map. The first time you ever saw your baby brother or sister, the first time you came to the U.S., the first time you walked into your new school. First times are often turning points in our lives. So after heart mapping first times, I invite students to then choose one that speaks to them, and then I guide them in pushing beyond their initial entry. So on the heart map itself, there are coaching questions like, why is this first time important to me? In what ways did that moment change me or impact my life? And writers can also decide what genre does this writing beg to be written in, an essay, personal narrative, or even a poem.
As we start to wrap up here, what is one tip you would suggest that we could try tomorrow?
I think teachers should start with their own heart maps first, so they'll know firsthand what the process is like. They can then coach students more effectively when they map their own hearts. I think it's the most inspiring invitation I know when we do the work we're asking our students to do and share the struggles and the insights. So after sharing their heart maps, you can download one of the 20 heart maps from the online key code, which is provided in the book, and you can copy a heart map either in black and white or in color, and then ask your students to dive in and fill their papers, as Wordsworth said, with the breathings of their heart.
I want to thank Georgia Hurd for her time today. Her new book is called Heart Maps, helping students create and craft authentic writing. Inside there are essays from Penny Kittle, Nancy Atwell, Pam Allen, and many more. You should definitely check it out. It is a gorgeous book with lots of color and different heart map designs and lots of just beautiful layout and design throughout the book. You can also find a sample chapter for the book Heart Maps on the Heinemann website. You can check that out at heinemann.com and just search Heart Maps or search for Georgia Hurd. And of course, be sure to check out Georgia Hurd's website as well, georgiahurd.com. Thank you so much for listening today. We appreciate your feedback. If you could take some time and share about our podcast either on the Google Play or iTunes Store, go on, leave a comment, maybe rate us, and share it with your friends on social media. But also be sure to download the Heinemann Teacher Tip app, another quick way to have lots of PD in your pocket 5 days a week. We're putting out Heinemann teacher tips directly from Heinemann authors and Heinemann books. Thank you so much for your time today, and we hope you'll tune in next time.